Rick, what do you say to people who kind of poo-poo the whole sun sign horoscope astrology?
I thought you were going to ask me what was I going to what do I say to people who poo-poo astrology in
I love
general?
that too. I actually ask that to every astrologer on Astrology
Well,
TV.
there's there's three different questions and answers.
Mhm.
Uh, the first one is people who poo-poo sun sign astrology don't understand what it is. Although I have to say that most astrologers who discover the richness of horoscopic astrology go through a phase of poo-pooing sun sign astrologers.
Hmm.
I did. For years, I said no self-respecting astrologer would ever write that kind of crap. I mean, that was me. Um, I remember my partner in crime in writing astrology books, Jeff Jower, was once we were at dinner with Alois Treindl, who is the founder of Astrodienstastro.com, and Alois said, "Why did two such brilliant minds like like you, Jeff, and you, Rick, why do you guys like write sun sign stuff?" And Jeff said, "We just work for the astrology union. We show up and they tell us what to do." In a way, I didn't choose writing sun sign astrology. It chose me. But I think the real thing here is that people of my age, most of us got into astrology because we read Linda Goodman's Sun Signs. That was the book in the mid-late 60s that took astrology and made it not so much make sense, but it was like, oh my God, there's really something to this. I mean, sun signs work, but they're just generalities. And I think of sun signs as the nation that you were born in. What's your nationality? For example, if you put 10 people in a room and 5 of them were from El Paso, Texas, not to pick on El Paso, and 5 of them were from New York City, not to pick on New York City, I could make sweeping general statements and we could easily differentiate the lives of those living in New York from those living in El Paso. In a matter of moments, I could tell you which ones were from New York and which ones were from El Paso, but I wouldn't know anything about them individually. And the magic of sun sign astrology is that it's useful if you treat it like koans. They're things to think about. They're things to put your mind on, that they're like meditations. I tell people, if you read a sun sign column and you don't like, you can't relate to your sign, sure, read your ascendant, but read anyone. It doesn't matter, because you'll hit one that makes you think about something. And so from that standpoint, I think it's useful. But I'll tell you, the real use is, as Chris Brennan says, it's the gateway drug to real astrology.
Absolutely. Okay, good. All right.
Now, before we go on,
yeah.
How I would answer the, you really believe in astrology question separate from sun sign, is it depends on where the person is coming from. If they're coming from a religious judgment, which does happen these days more than any other, I just say, I think it's odd that Jesus only invited 3 outsiders to his birth and they were all astrologers. I mean, what do you do with that? I mean, Magi were Zoroastrian priests and they were astrologers. You can take that much further. I could dig into it, but that's the, it's the fact is that Christians all around the world say in the Lord's Prayer, it's done on earth as it is in heaven, but they don't believe it.
Yeah.
And from a scientific standpoint, astrology, like any other body of information, is a body of information. I love the James Hillman line. James Hillman used to say something like, I don't believe in astrology, but then again, I don't believe in a monkey wrench. If it's the right tool, however, I'll use it.
Very good. I love that. I'm curious to hear how the people respond, especially the religious response that you give.
I love the Grant Louis, who was a self-retired professor of English from Dartmouth College, who was one of the early editors, maybe the founding editor of Horoscope magazine, and wrote several books, including Astrology for the Millions, which is in its umpteenth printing. Grant Louis wrote, "I believe in astrology for the same reason I believe in the intoxicating effects of alcohol. It works.